I'm a lecturer. Currently, I'm a lecturer in INTI International University. I'm working there for almost 40 years. Okay. Dekat lagi. Okay. And with Islamic organization, I'm working with Islamic Center of Education Excellence, ICEE, one of the IKRAM organizations company that focus on education. Okay, so that's my quick background, and I was given a topic, intellectual humility. Okay, how shall we be trained and educated to be a leader? Okay, Islamic leader, and put this character, okay, to be humble, to put yourself not in the position of kibr in Arabic, which is arrogance. Yeah, so we do not want Islamic leader, whether it is in education or in any other organizations. Okay, you have to practice and be humble. Okay, this is the topic that we're going to discuss today or this evening, and I cannot speak Arabic, so I don't plan to read the Arabic text. Okay, so intellectual humility, meaning recognizing the limit of knowledge that one's have. Okay, recognizing the limits of knowledge that one have. You can be so well knowledgeable, especially when you grow older. You learn more and more from other people, from events, from experience and so on, or even from your teachers, gurus and so on. But as you increase your knowledge, okay, you should know that there is limit in the knowledge that people can have. Okay, you cannot have a knowledge as what you want. Okay, I will show you some verses of the Quran, which Allah tells us as human being that our knowledge is so limited. Even though you live for 70 years, 80 years, or even 100 years gathering all this knowledge, but still, you are still having a limited knowledge. There is a limit in your knowledge. And number two is openness to corrections. Okay? So any one of you want to be a leader, you heard about empathy just now, okay, from the previous lecturer. Now I'm talking about willingness to be corrected, open to correction. Okay? That's one of the traits of an important Islamic leader. Okay, next, I move on. I will not read this objective. I think you have the document printed in your booklet. Okay, explore how intellectual humility protects leaders. Okay, protect leaders from arrogance. Okay, too proud of yourself. You can be proud of yourself, but not too proud of yourself in such a way that you downgrade or you put other people down. Okay, that's arrogance. We do not want to be arrogant. And understanding intellectual humility, it will strengthen, okay, your leadership effectiveness through an Islamic ethical framework that we're going through shortly after this. Yeah. All right. Number two, to equip the leaders with the principle of intellectual humility. So we're going to learn some verses of the Quran, a few hadiths from Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and also I will quote some example of our scholars, okay, Islamic scholars, contemporary leaders, as well as current research that people have made on intellectual humility. So we're going to go through that. And these are just the learning outcomes. Understand what is intellectual humility. I put IH as short form. And then the importance of IH or intellectual humility in leadership as well in scholarship. That means you in the process of you gathering more and more knowledge, whether through learning, okay, or through the experience or through research. Because when you go to the level of your education, where you go up into the highest level of education is PhD, Doctor of Philosophy. So basically you have to do research. And when you do research, you will come out with new knowledge, which you yourself develop and found this new knowledge because of the research that you do. But out there in the world, people have done numerous research and they come up with many knowledge that you can learn from as well. At this age, with the technology that you have, internet, okay, you can access to any kind of knowledge by a click of a button. Okay, not like what I did my PhD something like more than 30 years ago. Okay, when I did my PhD, you know how long that I have to wait to get a paper for a reference. 2 weeks. Just to get one paper for reference, I need to wait for 2 weeks. But nowadays, within a night, you click on the internet, you can get hundreds of papers. Okay, and you can learn there. You can get a lot of knowledge from there. All right, so that's the difference. So nowadays it's very easy for you to do that. And then apply those case example, Treaty of Hudaybiyah. I think every one of you knows what is the Treaty of Hudaybiyah. So you're going to quote this example at the end. And there's a quotation here. Not quotation. In fact, a translation from one of the ayah of the Quran, meaning that humility is from the means of acceptance of truth, okay, and gaining affection on the believers. That is one of the ayah that defines humble or humility. Okay, I appreciate. These are some of the ayah from the Quran. In the text, you have more than this, but in this slide, I just put 3 of them. Okay, the first one is from Surah Al-Isra, verses 85. I read the translation. Yeah? They ask you, O Prophet, about the soul. You know soul? Human being is made out of physical body and soul. Okay? The Sahaba, the people surround the Prophet Muhammad asking about soul. Okay? And Allah tells the Prophet to tell the people, okay, say, its nature is known only to my Lord, which is Him, Allah, the God. And all humanity have been given knowledge except a little. This is the language of the Quran. Yeah? So it's not straightforward. Okay? You are given the knowledge, but little. But Allah always gives knowledge from the beginning of the creation of Adam, alayhi salam. Okay? Allah gave Adam knowledge, the name of God, and various other knowledge that he been transferred. Because Adam was created. Okay? It's not like you and me born. But Adam was created by Allah. And once he became a human being, Allah teach Adam. Okay, about names and many other things, and that is where knowledge started, gaining knowledge started. So until now, we as human beings, we have been taught, okay, knowledge has been poured into our brain, okay, even from when you were born. Maybe not through words, maybe through signals, through hand gestures and so on, from the mother or from the father. Okay, and this go on until you grow, become adult, and you learn even in university like you are doing now. Okay, number 2. Number 2, yes. You cannot hear, is it?
No, I mean, you want me to read the Arabic one, the real ayah?
Al-Isra, ayat 85.
Do you want him to read it?
You want to read the Arabic verse?
You want to read the Arabic? You want to read the Arabic?
Yes.
Okay, please.
Which one?
Can you read it?
The first or the second one?
Okay, now you read the second one. Allahu Nurul. Okay. You cannot hear. There's a problem with this projector because it's not so clear. Okay, straight from here. Okay, maybe Allah, Allahu Nur Fa.
Because it's again it's wrong, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
نرفع درجات من نشاء وفوق كل ذي علم عليم.
Okay, this is from Surah Yusuf. Okay, Surah Yusuf verses number 70. Thanks. And number 3. You want to read number 3 as well?
وعباد الرحمن الذين يمشون على الأرض هونا.
Okay, from Al-Furqan verses 63. Okay, I read the meaning. Number 2. Above every knowledgeable person, whoever you are, okay, could be the imam, could be the sheikh, could be the guru, the professors, and so on. Okay, every single knowledgeable person, there is one more knowing, which is Allah. Okay, that's the second verse. The third verse meaning, the servants of the most merciful, the servant of Allah, okay, walk upon the earth in humility. Because of the status of being human with limited knowledge, you should walk on the earth with humility. Okay? Doesn't mean that you have to crawl on the ground, no. Humility means you have this view in your mind, okay, when you talk to people, when you discuss things, okay, when you interact with other people, okay, you know that you have limited knowledge, and Allah, the only one who has the true knowledge. Okay? And Allah shared with you through various means, through Al-Quran, through the practice of Rasulullah SAW, and also been translated into the practice of the Sahaba of Rasulullah, and then following scholars later. Okay? So that is the background of why must he be humble as a leader. All right. There are 3 hadiths as well that I took here. One hadith from Sahih Muslim. I am only a human. This is what Rasulullah said. Okay, translated into English. I am only a human. Rasulullah is like you and me. All right? If I command anything in religion, follow it. If he give any command, must either the word come from Allah or the idea come from Allah, or Allah inspire Rasulullah SAW what to tell the people. If the command is on religion, follow it. But if I command something from my own opinion, okay, I am merely human. So Rasulullah never put himself above other people. He make the Sahaba, he make the people surrounding him, the Ummah surrounding him as equal. Okay? And he's the greatest leader. What more are the leaders? And we are training to be leaders. So we cannot put ourselves above others, as what Rasulullah has said here. I'm merely human. Second hadith from Sahih Bukhari. This is about occasion where the incidents of trying to define pollination of date trees, yeah? And one of the Sahaba corrected Rasulullah's opinion, and he accepted it. He accepted it because the person is more knowledgeable than him. Okay, the third hadith from Ibn Hisham, change military strategy. Rasulullah changed the military strategy based on Salman al-Farisi suggestion. One of the Sahaba, he suggested, this is the occasion of Handak war of the trench, right? So he accepted a recommendation from Salman al-Farisi. He's a leader. He's the head of the army. He's the general. Okay, but he accepted a view from another person, which he believed is more correct than his own view. Okay, those are examples from both Al-Quran and also hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Okay, next I want to quote few incidents or quotations or whatever happened by two main scholars, which many people refer to, Muslim refer to the scholars. Number one is Imam Al-Ghazali. I think most of you know, or all of you know who is Imam Al-Ghazali. He wrote the book on Al-Ums, okay? I cannot remember what is the meaning in English, okay? He put a caution on people, caution scholars against intellectual pride. True knowledge leads to humility. That's his saying. From what he understands from the Quran, from the practice of Prophet Muhammad SAW, that he come up with this saying, advising scholars. Okay, scholars are leaders. Okay, in certain fields, certain area, and don't be too proud of yourself. Okay, so what he said here is he cautioned scholars against intellectual pride. True knowledge leads to humility. Okay, the more that you learn, the more humility you bring down, the more humble that you should be. Okay, I experienced this truly. When I did my PhD, I think some of you are doing a PhD program, or maybe already completed. Okay, completing your PhD program, 3, 4 years, 5 years, okay, of research, you come up with new knowledge and so on. You write thesis, you defend your thesis and so on. But after completing all those, when I come back to my workplace, I feel that I'm so stupid. Is it? Same with you.
After buyback.
After the Viva, I feel that I'm so stupid. I know only very narrow area which the research I did on. Okay, even that new knowledge that I developed from the research, even that somebody else might have done it or do similar or an alternative research to either to help to back up what I found or even to reject what I found. All right, so that means that you should put yourself to that level. So I become stupid. I had to learn more. Okay, I'm so stupid even though I completed my PhD. All right, so that is the situation which I personally experienced. Okay, Ibn Taymiyyah said, another scholar, revise rulings with stronger evidence demonstrating epistemic flexibility. When people make, especially the authority of certain country or certain region, make a fatwa, for example. Okay, so fatwa is not rigid. Okay, when you make any decision on thing that you recommend on what you should do, okay, it might be right on that particular time and in that particular context. But as the context change and the time change, you are allowed to revise the fatwa or decision that you make. Okay, that's the role of leaders in Islam. So I derived two tawhidic principles from this. Understanding all knowledge ultimately belongs to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And number two, practical application begins meeting with seeking refuge from arrogance. So if you are trying to practice this to bring down your humility, okay, in any situation, you should always start anything that you want to do, discussion, okay, even studying, learning, doing research, attending workshop like this, okay, or anything that you need to do, you put yourself that there might be something not right could happen. Okay, my knowledge level could just be this level. I cannot go further and so on. So you always seek knowledge to protect yourself of being arrogant. Okay, so normally we start with A'udzubillahi minasyaitonirrajim and Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. And that is the simple start of anything that you want to do. Okay, protect yourself from the evil of shaitan, which most of this feeling of being arrogant or kibr, okay, in Arabic, come from shaitan. It's not from your inner self, or could be from nafs. Okay, your nafs, your desires. All right, so you have to pray and let Allah protect us, okay, from being arrogant. All right, I move on because we don't have much time. I would like to have actually discussion and so on, but if we have time, we can do that. First, we just go around, go around and go through the slides. Huh? Okay, there are findings also from modern research. This is done by non-Muslim. Okay, non-Muslim researchers or scholars. Okay, one of the findings which was from a paper published in Harvard Business School. All right, and they conclude that humble leaders command 22% higher employee retention. Some of you are doing business study, finance and so on. Yeah? Okay, so organizations want to retain their business, okay, and have a command on the business. They should have good employees that work with them. All right, and if you are a humble leader, from this study, they say that they can retain good employee and 20%, 22% higher employee retention. Another study, another paper, sorry, I don't put the name of the paper, I just quote the journal here. Academy of Management Journal 2016, humble leaders achieve higher team performance. Okay, a humble leader achieve higher team performance. I have listened to many stories from friends who are working in various organizations. Okay, if they have leaders who are not that humble or so arrogant in the way that he managed the organization, okay, people will run away. People will run away, and they cannot get support from the people. Maybe they just follow the orders. You ask me to do this, I will do this. That's it. I will not contribute in anything other than that. Okay, so there's no respect, and people will not contribute much to the organization. Number 3, humble leaders activate brains in the regions where it linked to empathy. The topic before this was talking about empathy. Okay, a humble leader have a brain or part of the brain that are linked to empathy. Okay, so you know the brain, there are millions of cells in the brain. There are certain part of the brain that are focused on on emotion. Okay, but actually the brain cell that focus on emotion is not in the head. It's in the heart. You know that we have brain cell in 3 places, 3 organs of our body. The biggest one is in the head, yeah, which everybody know. But there are also brain cells, these neurons that connecting to each other, have electrical signals and so on. They are also in our heart. On the top part of the heart is some brain cell there. You know where is the 3rd place of the brain cell in our body? Stomach. You're right. You already know. Okay, in our stomach. Generally, I also didn't know this before until I do some research, I do some reading, and there are 3 brains in our body. Not this one in the brain, in the head. No, we have also in the heart, and also in the stomach. Each of them have different purpose and different function, but they communicate to each other. The brain cell in the head connect, always in connection with the one in the heart, and also always have connection with in the gut or in the stomach. Each have their own function. Just maybe to divest, the one in the head, okay, that way you store all this. What is it? These bits. The bits is computer. They store the bits. Yeah, the memories, whatever that you learn, you store there. From baby when you were born until you grow adult, okay, you collected this knowledge and it's stored in the head. All right, and the brain cell on the heart is the cell or the brain cell that are controlling your emotions. Okay, your emotion, your judgment. Okay, your feeling is on the heart. That's why there are many verses in the Quran that Allah, when they said to people that, have you not reflected your heart? Have you not checked your heart? Okay? It's not, Allah didn't ask, have you checked your brain? No. Have you checked your heart? Because the heart is where it resides, your feeling, your decisions, your emotion, and so on. From somebody, from non-Muslim to convert or revert to become Muslim, okay? It's from the heart. It's not from the brain. You get information collected in the brain, but the brain in the head communicate with the heart, brain, and they make decision, okay, I think it's time for me to revert to Islam. That's an example, an extreme example of the use of the heart brain. What about gut brain? When you wake up in the morning, you feel something. Okay, whether you are happy, you're sad, or you are rushing for things and so on. All this feeling or decision that you make that reflect yourself at that particular time come from the gut. Okay? And that's why some people say, you are what you eat. You are what you eat. Okay? Because if you eat something wrong that go to your stomach, and your action is weird. Weird. Okay? That's why Rasulullah also teach us to eat good food. Halalan wa tayyiban. Halal and good food. Because the heart, the stomach that crunch the food and having brains cell on the gut, okay, will reflect who you are on any particular instant. Okay? So, sorry, I digest a bit here. And I just want to relate that humble leaders, okay, activate the brain regions. You know, there are many regions in the brain, the front, the back, the left, the right, and so on and so forth. But there are certain regions in the brain that are linked to empathy. To understand people, to listen to people, what you hear from the previous lecture just now. Able to listen to people. Listen is not hear. Eh? You can hear things, but you might not be listening. Okay? And to have empathy, you have to be able to listen, not to hear. All right. I think anyone of you who can tell us about Hudaybiyah Treaty, a short description. When it happened, what was happening, the main thing that you can highlight. Anyone? You want to talk about Hudaybiyah Treaty?
Hudaybiyah Treaty?
Yeah?
Hudaybiyah Treaty of Hudaybiyah?
Yeah.
Okay,
You want?
let me try.
Okay, please.
What's the treaty?
Okay. A brief story about Hudaybiyah Treaty. Okay.
I think from my learning about Treaty of Hudaybiyah is like the Sahaba came from Medina, Prophet and his companion came from Medina to Mecca.
To Mecca.
They want to do a Hajj. But
Okay.
in their place coming, whether it's Umrah or Hajj. It's Umrah or Hajj. Why?
They want to do Hajj, yeah, no, okay. And then?
They want to do Hajj.
Yeah.
Okay? So in their place coming, then non-Muslims said they should not do
You cannot enter.
You cannot
Enter Mecca, yeah.
And then Prophet told them that we should be patient and return back.
Okay.
But before that, they even told the Prophet that we come to do Umrah, Hajj, not for piety. But still they say we shouldn't do that.
Yeah.
And then they came back. The next time they came, Prophet said one of their relatives, because there is Usman bin Affan, he has some relative there.
Stay in Mecca.
Yeah, stay in Mecca. So he sent them to go and have some agreement with them. And then they have agreement to... But some companions, when they are outside the Mecca, think that they have killed Usman. So Prophet and his companion says, if they have killed Usman, then we are going to fight them, despite we didn't kill with the weapons.
Yeah.
So this is my understanding.
Okay, thank you. That is some highlight about Hudaybiyah Treaty. Okay, it happened in that that house or that building actually, which already fall down. I visited that place when I from Mecca, and they signed an agreement. Okay, saying that yes, yeah. Okay, there are many other clauses in that treaty, including people can move after the treaty. People can transfer. Yeah, people can move from Medina to Mecca and so on and so forth. So actually, some Sahaba were not happy with that treaty because they didn't get to do their Hajj that year, so they feel very sad. Okay, they mentioned this to the Prophet. The Prophet said, "This is the best thing that you do in this treaty." You know, even Rasulullah want to write Bismillahirrahmanirrahim on top of the treaty, the document, and the Quraysh didn't allow to write that Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. And Rasulullah said, "Okay, we accept it, we accept it." But in his heart, he already knows that actually the Muslim with him is winning in that treaty. And that's why when the following year, when Prophet Muhammad SAW went to Hajj with people from Medina, and there are many people who are waiting for him in Mecca, they embraced Islam. They straightway said that we believe in you. So something which is hidden, only the Prophet knows, with the idea and the imagination that comes from Allah Subhanahu wa Taala, and he signed that treaty. Okay, so compared to modern leaders' decision-making process, okay, of course I heard that some leaders, they consult their people, their right-hand men are surrounding them in the organization for them to make certain decision. Okay, they collect data, they collect information before they make decision. Okay, but when they make decision for anything that they want to do, they always think about, I must win. There's no such thing as win-win. I must win. Okay, that is behind the modern people, modern leaders, when they want to make certain decision. They didn't use their inner feeling from the heart. They didn't use the advice or the knowledge that they learned from the Quran and so on and so forth. And sometimes the decisions are bad. It's okay for Muslim to make decision which is wrong. You already got your your reward for that. Okay, the only thing is that when you make decision and the decision is wrong, okay, you can always change it. With collecting new facts, new information, new knowledge, you can change it. There's no problem for doing that. That's what we call the flexibility in the decision making. All right. Okay. I don't have much time for you to do this Quranic reflection circle. Okay. It's good to practice this. Okay. When you have any discussion, okay, start with reading Quran. Get the meaning. If possible, you get the tafsir of the ayah that you read. Okay. And then you do reflection. Make it as a practice. Wherever and anything that you want to do, start with reading an ayah from Quran. And understand the meaning and do some reflection on your life. Okay? And there are a lot of things that you can learn from that. Okay? This morning, I was on my computer. I watched one of this video, the discussion or interview between, Mel Gibson. Okay, Mel Gibson. Okay, the famous actor with Ibrahim Traore. You know who is Ibrahim Traore? The president of what is that country? Burkina Faso. the young president of Burkina Faso. So they have a discussion. And in the end of the discussion, Mel Gibson was crying from the explanation by Ibrahim Traore. Why? Because Ibrahim Traore tells the true knowledge from what he understands about Isa alayhi salam. Whereas Mel Gibson learned about Christianity and Isa from the Bible, which already been distorted. Okay, so the true knowledge comes from the Quran. And Ibrahim Tori tells about Isa what is been told in the Quran. Okay, and Mel Gibson was crying because he developed one movie based on Christianity, and then from there he said that I made a wrong decision on making that movie because there are knowledge that he doesn't know. And he said, I must make another movie to correct this, to correct the earlier movie, something like that. Yeah? Okay, so that is a situation where you read the Quran, you understand it, and then to reflect on what you are doing. And this has been shown by the president of Burkina Faso. This young guy, he's only 30 something, 32, 33 years old. He's one of the general of the army and become the president of the country. And I listened to a few of his videos, his speeches and so on. It's so encouraging, okay? Because he always tell facts. Okay, you want to develop the people, you want to develop the country, you want to throw away the, what is it? I'm wearing a hearing aid so I can hear to my telephone ringing. Can I just switch off? Sorry. I think I can just switch off this. All right. So practice this, yeah? Group yourself, maybe 2, 3, 4 people, 5 people, and so on, and always have this discussion and do reflection. Okay, I will not do this in this session because we don't have much time. All right. In fact, there was one scholar from Cambridge University. What is her name? Dr. Fatima, okay, from Cambridge University. She came here last year. So one whole month in August, she was giving workshops, and she started few schools in England, okay, and then she developed new way of learning. Actually, it is not new way, but a true way of learning among the children. So one of the methods that she adopted is to learn through halakha, through groups. Not like normal classroom where the teacher stand in front of the room and the children are just listening. But he started to let the children learn in school, in halakha, in group discussion. Okay? That's why I said it's good practice for you to do that. Occasionally, once a time, okay, not every day, okay. On anything that you do, you group yourself, read one verses of the Quran, understand and try to reflect in your life. Okay, sorry, I was there, and all right. There's a matrix of a comparison between intellectual humility and arrogance. Okay, I just listed here 3 points. Number 1, the wise one is he who humbles himself. It's a hadith from Ibn Majah. Okay, the wise one is he who humbles himself. All right, the same as the previous ayah that we read. And the opposite of that, if somebody who is arrogant, is no one with an atom weight of arrogance enter paradise. Okay, and this is also a warning from Rasulullah SAW and Hadith Muslim. Okay, even an atom of arrogance, kibr, in your heart, you will not enter paradise. All right, so being leader, I know it is not easy. Okay, I've been leading few departments or organizations when I was working in my previous university and so on. Okay, there are times that you have to make decisions. Okay, when there are conflicts, for example, between staff, between students, and so on and so forth, and you have to make decisions. Okay, it's not easy for you to do that, and never in your heart that you assume yourself know better than them. Okay. I always tell this in my class to the student, because I do many classes for working people, because my students are working people. They are not student undergraduate that come from school and study. No, they are working people. They are CEO company, managers of the company, and so on. So when I run my class with them, okay, I always tell them that when I'm standing here, and never in my mind or in my heart, I have the feeling that I know better than you all. I always tell that in my class, at the beginning of my class. It is just that maybe I know some knowledge earlier than you. Maybe you learn later. You learn from me or you learn from other people. Maybe, but there are many other knowledge that you know better or earlier than me. Okay? So that will help me to protect me of that feeling of being arrogant. Okay? So you have to humble yourself. All right. Next. Intellectual humility seeks truth over ego. Okay? It seeks truth over ego. Ego is arrogance. Okay? And arrogance is you cling to the opinion despite there are evidence saying that you are wrong. You still hold to it. You want to believe that you are the only one who has the right knowledge, not nobody else, and so on. Yeah. So that is being arrogant. Number 3, Allah raises the humble. This is in hadith, but it was also mentioned in the Quran just now. And one of the biggest arrogant or ego that existed in this world is Firaun, the Pharaoh, because he himself claimed that he is God or he was God. But in the end, he was praying to God when he was about drowning. He said that, please help me. Okay, I'm drowning now, but it's too late. Okay, that is the one of the biggest arrogance or ego that existed in this world during the Prophet Musa time. Okay, all right. There's a case example here. I will not go through this case study. A number of these case studies are in the text that you can read later. Okay, Imam Bukhari, one of the compiler of hadith, the biggest hadith. Yeah, I think he has more than 6,000 hadiths that he compiled. And at one time he was doing a debate, okay, with a scholar in Baghdad. When proven wrong, when another person said that he is wrong or he was wrong that time, okay, with certain evidence, and he immediately corrected himself, okay, and demonstrating humility. He was one of the top scholars. Just imagine he collected hadith. You know how he collected hadith? Okay, it's not straightforward when you hear something from somebody mentioned about what the Prophet said and so on. He just take it. No, he go through several processes. It's so tedious. He even pray. He make dua that he do the right thing. That's Imam Bukhari. Even that when somebody corrected him, he followed that opinion and corrected himself. Okay, there's a sign of humility or example of humility to the highest level. All right, a framework. I'm talking about implementation. We are supposed to stop at 7:30. If we extend a bit, because Maghrib time is 7:30. Yeah. So I hope that we can pray Maghrib after that. I have another about 12-13 minutes. Let me finish this slide. Practical framework for humble leadership or to have intellectual humility. Okay, one of the recommended thing that you should do, I think there is one module that talk about shura, if I'm not mistaken. One of the module in this course that talk about shura. But basically, what is shura? This is just a short form. Try to define shura. Seek diverse inputs. When you want to make any decision or to develop certain opinion, don't just take from one source. Okay, not like what people are doing today. They browse through their Instagram, their chit-chat, whatever media that they have, and then they straight away believe in it. Okay, check with it. find another source in such a way that you have more comfortable situation for you to make any opinion on certain thing. Seek diverse inputs. Number 2, humble your preconceptions. Okay, whatever that you have before this, you tell people or you tell yourself that there might be something new that I didn't know. Bring yourself as down as possible. Okay, understand multiple perspectives. Look at different contexts. Yeah, you know the time Rasulullah SAW advised the Sahaba. Okay, for one Sahaba he advised certain thing, another Sahaba he advised another thing, another Sahaba he advised another thing. Yeah, sometimes contradict each other, but there are situations where things have to be corrected based on context, okay, based on time and so on. Yeah, so understand multiple perspective. Don't just believe in one. That's why being Muslim, especially you want to be a leader, okay, you have to always learn, get more knowledge, get more information, okay, until you reach a situation where you are comfortable with that knowledge, where you can make your own opinion. Number 4, reflect before deciding. Okay, like what I advise you to do, read Quran and reflect on the Quran, and then try to learn from that and apply in your life. Okay, and reflection is not only just Quran. Reflection could be done on hadith, on advice of the scholars, your elders, or parents, okay, or even your peers, your friends, and so on. So get this information from several sources. Reflect before deciding, announce decision with openness to revision. When you have already decided certain opinion, but in your mind you still have that buffer, that allowance. I think if there are new facts that come in or new knowledge that come in, I will correct it, my decision or my opinion. Okay, so Shura even also mentioned in Al-Quran in Surah Ali Imran, وَشَاوِرْهُمْ fil amri. Okay, the Arabic word, the sentence, meaning consult them in matters. And that's what Rasulullah had been doing throughout his life. Okay, the Prophet accepted advice from the companion during Ghazwatul Badr, Ghazwatul Khandaq, the trench just now I mentioned earlier. And Prophet Musa alayhi salam learned from Hidir alayhi salam. Okay, there was a journey, and this is described in Surah Al-Kahfi, verses 60 to 82. The story of how Prophet Musa alayhi salam learned from Hidir, from Prophet Hidir. Okay, even there are things which Prophet Hidir did or mentioned to him, which to him that is not logical, is not wrong, but he accepted because he said that Hidir might have more knowledge than me. Okay, he never put himself above. Okay, he always lower himself and learn from something which is better. And that's what is been shown by Prophet Musa when he learned from Hidir alayhi salam. Musa, humility in learning. Yeah. Okay. About institutions, I was talking about individual just now, being leader. But if you are in an institution, an organization, when you want to make decision, okay, based on certain facts, certain knowledge, okay, and you always have in mind that this can be changed, or this should be changed later. Al-Azhar University, okay. So one time earlier, I don't know which year was it, they have this fatwa saying that women, okay, are restricted from high-ranking leadership roles. Okay, women, maybe there are some basis when they make this judgment or this fatwa. Okay, but later, more scholars study on this. All right, and in 2019, it's not long ago, yeah, even less than how many years? 10 years. Okay, Al-Azhar Islamic Research Council affirmed that Islam permits women to hold any leadership position, including judges and head of state. Okay, that means even fatwa or policy, whatever you want to call it, okay, can change as time goes by. As mentioned earlier, depend on context, depend on knowledge, new knowledge that you have gathered, or you have developed, and so on and so forth. So, 2019, Al-Azhar changed their decision, saying that women can take up leadership role. Can you take up your leadership role in the house from your husband? Because husband should be the leader, isn't it, of the family? Yeah?
If the man fulfilling
Yeah.
if the man is fulfilling his own responsibilities, so there is no need to be leader in the
Yeah. Well, you can advise your husband when something is not right. Okay, you can give advice. Correct your husband. Okay, and let him make the decision because he's the leader of the family. Okay, the same thing in organizations. Okay, you have shura. We have discussion. You don't make your own decision, even though you can make your own decision based on knowledge and facts that you have. Okay, but you remember the point earlier. You open to corrections. Yeah, you should be open to correction. Grand Imam Ahmad Al-Taib stated there is no religious text preventing women from assuming leadership role. I have 5 minutes. Okay, let me speed up. All right. There's a short section on relationship between emotion. I think you have also module on emotional intelligence, yeah? But just to connect that emotional intelligence and intellectual humility, you must strike a balance between the two. Okay, or there is a connection. Okay, in Surah Al-Hajj, I don't have the Arabic text here, but quickly I read the meaning. Okay, talking about a balance, balancing between emotional intelligence and intellectual humility. Quranic balance. Have they not traveled through the land so that their hearts and minds may thus learn wisdom? Tomorrow morning you have a module by Professor Dawood Al-Hidabi. We're talking about wisdom, hikmah. Okay? You develop hikmah. Hikmah is above knowledge and above intelligence. You might be intelligent. You're gifted with certain capability of making certain things which is better than other people. Right? Be intelligent. Okay? But hikmah is above knowledge and intelligence. And the hikmah come from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It might be through your opinion, your belief, your imagination, whatever that you want to do, to be innovative and so on. But hikmah is actually from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Okay, that's the first ayat. Imam Ghazali mentioned the concept of qalb, the heart. Allah also mentioned in few verses about qalbun salim. Okay, a good heart. Okay, we should have a good heart. And Rasulullah used to mention that if we don't protect our heart, it can grow dark. Okay? And grow dark means you leave the religion. You are leaving the religion and your heart grow dark. For example, you don't pray. You don't perform salat. Okay? Once there is a dot there, but you carry on not doing salat, the dot become bigger and bigger and bigger, and your heart become black. All right. So Imam Ghazali talk about qalb, the heart and intellect, how you connect. I already mentioned about the heart just now, the brain in the head, the heart, and also the gut. Contemplative exercise, muraqabah, mindfulness for leaders. Again, you can exercise this. Yeah, you can exercise this in such a way that anything that you do in managing organizations or even even small group of people, as we are appointed as leader, always perform muraqabah. Be mindful. Always reflect on yourself. There's another word beside muraqabah, which is muhasabah. Okay, reflect yourself. And when to be firm and when to adapt. Yeah, when to be firm on your decision on what you want to do, and also when to adapt to things, adapt to changes, to do innovation, and so on. Yeah. So there are situations where you are allowed to do innovation. If it will bring higher value in your life, yes, do innovation. Dangers of dogmatism. This is the few ayah about balance. Be steadfast in justice in Surah An-Nisa, ayat 135. Be kind and merciful to one another in Al-Fatah. And protect the danger of being dogmatic. What is dogmatic or dogmatism? Always verify information, ascertain the truth, okay, and at least harm people in ignorance. Even this is mentioned in Surah Al-Hujurat in the Quran. Be mindful that we don't hurt people. Okay, from whatever decision or whatever that you make on others. There are few quotes from modern research. I already hear the azan of Maghrib. Yeah, we carry on until I try to finish it as soon as possible. Okay, humble leaders. I already mentioned about this earlier. Humble leaders achieve higher team performance, and then encourage critical thinking in Surah An-Nahl. Ask people of knowledge if you do not know. Okay, this is from the Quran. Ask people of knowledge if you do not know. Don't simply make assumptions. Please ask. Ask your ustaz, ask your guru, or ask your teacher, or whoever that you can give advice to you. Okay, the cure for ignorance is to ask questions. This is a quotation by Ibn Majah. Okay. The cure for ignorance is to ask questions. No, any question you want to ask? No, because you are not ignorant. Sorry. And the last one, the difference in opinion in my ummah is a mercy. Okay, all right. I have to stop now. All right. So maybe this is the last slide. Managing leadership, stress, and criticism with a prophetic wisdom. Always make dua. Okay, always make dua. That is, oh Allah, I seek refuge in you from helplessness and laziness. We always, if you read Surat, okay, you always read this dua, okay, in the morning or in the evening, just to make Allah protect us. Okay. I will skip those. In fact, I have few recommendations on some practical things that you can do to help you improve this intellectual humility. Go through it. Okay, if the slide is not enough, okay, there is in the text already shared with you. Okay, I think the organization already shared my text. All right, so practical applications. I wrote it there, and then. This is just a summary, just summary of the session this afternoon. I put in 3 slides about humility. This is the same about humility. The key aspect of intellectual humility, which we already discussed. The last one is humility of leaders. Okay. Also, I summarized that in 4 points there. Okay. Just an example of being leader. You have to always contemplate, reflect, and always see the environment and so on, and learn from the environment. Okay, it is also summary. Okay, just quickly, the concluding remark: prevents dogmatism, avoid rigid, unchallenged belief, encourage lifelong learning, keep learning, you never stop. Strengthen leadership. Okay, build trust and adaptability to institution. Any organization you are working in, okay, build trust among the people. And being humble, you build more trust of the people. Publicly acknowledge mistake. Okay, don't be ashamed that you have something wrong decision. Yeah, admit. Okay, sorry, I made a mistake. We correct. We correct it now, and so on. And then encouraging people, ask people to give feedback on you. All right, and revising outdated ruling. There's nothing that have been shown some example earlier. Okay, that's a summary or the concluding remark that I want to make. Okay, and last dua, oh Allah, make me among those who hear speech and follow the best of it. Okay? Yeah. Okay, that's all. Thank you.